It's time now to wrap things up on this week's edition of the Jack Swarbrick Show, and certainly lots of things to talk about, but I want to just get your sense. It's quiet on campus now. There's some things that are nice about that. It's beautiful when it's quiet and students are here. But do you see energy? Do you feel energy coming back when all the students come back in about 10 days?
Oh, it changes the complexion completely. It's interesting for our students who are on campus, and we talked to Andrews about it a little bit. I mean, they're not used to being here when nothing's going on, and so trying to make that productive time for them. There's always some community service involved. There's some additional practice available to them, but they get a lot of time on their hands during this, and it is different. But from my perspective, this is one of my favorite periods of the year because in our business, in my business, the athletic director's business, the travel schedule from mid-January through mid-April is just brutal. And this is a 2-week period where you can sort of take stock, try and get all the things done you haven't done. And so I like the quiet pace, but you feel it change dramatically soon.
And during this period, it's also kind of a challenge to the non-student fans. I know Coach Bray has challenged his fans to come on out and provide the kind of atmosphere that generally, against Louisville, that generally is only provided by 18 to 22-year-olds who kind of lose their mind for 2 hours.
Yeah, that's one issue we can't figure out a way to solve that I really don't like. As the conferences grow and the sort of the length of the season, the conference season grows, you're left with these games across campuses, not just ours. Some don't come back until a week after us, where there aren't students on campus. And for a national institution like us,
exactly,
where you don't have a lot of your students who live nearby, that's a real challenge. I hate that for the kids, right? For both our students and for our players. But I know Mike's call to our broader fan base to come on out will be heeded tonight.
You know, I've heard friends and family sometimes say to athletes, "Gee, you've got to work hard. You got to go right back to campus. You don't get the full break." And you know, right now I'm really feeling for the swimming team, the men's and women's swimming team, because they are going to spend Thursday and Friday of this week at the Hawaii Christmas Forum diving invitational, and I don't think there's been any complaining about
Well,
that.
and it's not like they just went out for Thursday and Friday,
no.
right? So
they train out there.
They go out there to train, and it is a great opportunity for them to train, and certainly a team that's earned that opportunity as well as both have performed this year, so that's great.
And the fencing team is on the road at the tournament in Columbus, Ohio this week, and when we were in the break, you mentioned something to me that I didn't completely grasp, but when there's not an Olympic year, that's a good year for Notre Dame fencing.
Yeah, it's one of the strange ironies of college fencing. The better your team is, the more people you lose in Olympic years. And often, increasingly now, the year before an Olympic year, as kids are qualifying for the Olympics. So in the year after an Olympic Games, that tends to be our best years because we have so many high-quality fencers who fence for national Olympic teams. That really helps us.
And, of course, the indoor track and field season underway and gets back into full swing. The Irish, a week from Saturday at the Illini Classic. And, you know, a few years ago you lost a legend in Joe Piani, but I know you're really happy with the current leadership of that track and field program. And they're putting up some very good numbers.
Yeah, and we got the new outdoor facility coming on board. I'm assuming the Illinois Classic is indoors, don't you?
Yes, absolutely. I just made that assumption.
But no, that we've got the facilities in place here to really make sure that program continues to prosper, and I think they will.
All right, Jack, always a pleasure. Welcome back to the full-time 80-hour-a-week grind of the job.
And I must say, some would say this is an unusual segment of the show because I didn't co-host with an athlete, but I did. I co-hosted with an athlete.
Maybe
this
a
week.
voice athlete, but yeah, in my mind, I was a great athlete. That's about the only place. Jack, it's always a pleasure, folks. Thanks so much for listening. We'll be back next week. Until then, go Irish.
Go Irish.